Hello everyone, today we are starting with a new topic in math that's called mass. By the end of this lesson, you will understand what mass is, how we read mass, and the tools we use to measure it. Before we start, let's look at how this video is going to go. Sometimes learning a new topic like mass can feel like a lot, so we are going to break it down into three easy parts to help you understand everything step by step. Part 1 is called What is Mass? Here we will learn what mass really means, what units we use like grams and kilograms, and what tools we use to measure it. Part 2 is estimation and estimate the mass and measure mass. This part is all about how we guess the weight of something using our knowledge and then how we measure it to see if we are close to our final answer. Part 3 is to convert mass units. We will learn how to change from kilograms to grams or grams to kilograms by using multiplication and division. Each part is important, and if you listen carefully, you'll be able to do math questions easily and even explain it to someone else. Are you ready? Let's go to part 1. So let's start with part 1. What is mass? So, mass means how heavy something is. Even if an object is small, it can still be heavy. For example, a small rock can be heavier than a big sponge. The mass of something doesn't change even if we move it to another room or place. So, if I carry a heavy brick with me to another room, it will still be heavy. It won't change. It doesn't help if you turn it around, change it to another room or anything like that, that brick will still be the same mass. You must also see if I say a big pillow and, for instance, a small brick, which one is heavier? Exactly, the brick. So don't compare size with mass. Okay. Okay, units of mass. So when we measure small light things like a pencil or a spoon of sugar, we use grams. But for big, heavy things like a school bag or a dog, we can use kilograms. And remember, 1 kilogram is always equal to 1,000 grams. You have to remember that. So 1 kilogram is equal to 1,000 grams, and 1,000 grams is equal to 1 kilogram. So we use different tools to measure mass. If we want to weigh food, we use a kitchen scale. To measure our bodies, we use a bathroom scale. And scientists use balance scales with metal weights. These tools help us know the exact mass. So as you can see, we usually use scales to measure mass. As you can see on top left, there's a bathroom scale. um on the bottom right there is a scientific scale, so it's basically like a balance scale that you also need to know, and then a food or kitchen scale is at the bottom right. To reading a scale correctly, we should always check if the scale is in the grams or kilograms. Look at the numbers. Does it go up to ones, twos, or fives, or tens? Count the little lines in between to find out how much each line is. As you can see here, remember I said check in what the scale counts. Is it ones, twos, fives, or tens? Now in this one, if you look at the picture on your right, they count in hundreds. So it's 600 grams, 700 grams, 800 grams, and 900 grams if you zoom in. Um, each scale can sometimes also be different. By example, a bathroom scale, the scale you usually use when you want to weigh yourself, it's kilograms. But the kitchen scale, that's a little bit more smaller, and we measure smaller things, will usually be in grams. So make sure you see if the scale is in grams or kilograms and in what they count. If you can also see, it's 600 and then a longer stripe and then 700. A shorter stripe and then 700. That middle stripe where that red is on now, that pin, that's the half. So basically, we know what's the half of 100. 50. So they are counting in 50s at this place. Let's do an example. The needle is between 0 kilograms and 1 kilogram. There are 5 small lines, so each line must be 100 grams. Count how many lines from 1, that's the answer. So let's do it together. We can start at the 0 kilograms. Always start here at the 0 on top. Then 100 grams, 200 grams, 300 grams, 400 grams, 500 grams. So we can count it off now there on the scale. So the red needle is at 500 grams. So the tomatoes are 500 grams in weight. Okay, part 2. Estimate and measure mass. In part 2, we are going to estimate and measure mass. Estimate means make a smart guess. Remember, estimate means guessing. We did it in term 1 as well and in term 2. Using our brains and experience, we can make final guesses. Then we will learn to check our guess by measuring the real mass with our final answer. So basically, we are always estimating to make sure we are more or less on the right track with our answer at the end. So, how to estimate mass? Use what you know already. Think of yourself, is it heavier or lighter than 1 kilogram? Look at its size and what it's made of. Remember, estimating is not perfect, it's just a good guess. Let's say I give you a banana. You have held a banana before, so you know it's not too heavy. You estimate maybe 150 grams. So estimating gets better the more you practice. So it's recalling other memories in your past to know how heavy something is. If you close your eyes and I say, okay, imagine you're holding a ball of popcorn, then you can imagine the weight more or less. If I say close your eyes and imagine holding what's the weight of a pillow, then you can estimate how heavy that pillow is. And you can do that with multiple stuff, and by practicing, remember in math, then you can estimate more kinds of objects. So if you can lift it easily with one hand, it's probably in grams. If it takes two hands or more effort, it's kilograms. Think about things in your home and school. So basically, like in grams, we can use, say, in a razor, a sandwich, a phone, flowers, and so forth. With kilograms, we can say a dog, a cat, a school bag, a chair, a human, or an elephant. So after you estimate, we can use a scale to measure the actual mass, so the final answer. Now you can compare your guess with the real number. Sometimes you will be close and sometimes not. That's also okay. Just make sure you go back to see what you did wrong and you get your estimation close next time. So after estimating, we measured the object with a scale. Let's write down the real answer and see who was the closest. What helped you guess better this time? So basically, you can estimate. So you can guess, remember, recall a memory from your past. Then you can measure it with a real scale, and then you compare your estimation with the one your final answer. Let's do part 3. In part 3, we are going to learn how to change mass from grams to kilograms and from kilograms to grams. This is called converting. Let's learn the easy way to do it. This is one of the most important facts to remember by doing converting. 1 kilogram is always 1000 grams. So to change from kilograms to grams or to grams to kilograms, we just use the number 1000. So if you look at the picture on the right, to go from grams to kilograms, you divide 1000, and if you want to go from kilograms to grams, you can just take the number that you have in kilograms and times it with 1000. So basically, If you look at this picture, this blue one, grams to kilograms, you divide it with 1000. Kilograms to grams, you times with 1000. And basically, it's just taking zeros away or adding zeros. Let's do an example. We know to go from kilograms to grams, we will times with 1000. So if I have 2 kilograms and I want the answer in grams, I will multiply by 1000. Because remember, from going 2 kilograms to grams, I times with 1000. And I know I'm going to times because I know I have 2 kilograms. So 2 times 1000 is 2000 grams. Let's do another example, but now we go from grams to kilograms. So now we have to divide by 1000. So if I have 3 kilograms and I want grams, I must divide by if I have 3000 grams and I want to um go to kilograms, I must divide by 1000. So 3000 divided by 1000 equals 3. So our answer is going to be 3 kilograms. So I have 3000 grams. I want it in kilograms. I can say 3000 divided by 1000 equals 3. Let's look at this other example. I have 1000 grams and I want to go to kilograms. I'm saying 1500 divided by 1000. So basically, I know some of you use the comma. So the comma is going, how many zeros does 1000 have? 3. So I take the comma and I move it 3 times. Then I will get 1.5 kilograms because the comma is going to stand in the middle of the 1 comma between the 1 and 5. So it's 1.5 kilograms, 1.5 kilograms. Remember this is very important tip for you. If you are going from something big to small, you multiply, and if you're going from something small to big, you divide. You did amazing. I hope all now understand math, how to estimate, compare, and measure it. Keep practicing and at home and try weighing your lunchbox and school bag to get your estimations more on track. Good luck, guys.